sharp under here.
What a way to go live.
Yeah, that's how you start. That's how they always start.
Oh, we're live. Hello! Hi, everyone. Welcome to LVee Live. This is the 2016 WAKA Northeast podcast tournament recap. With us today, we have some special guests. We have Samir from Shockwave. He is the pitcher of Shockwave. Say hello, Samir.
How you guys doing?
We also have Nate. He is one of the outfielders for Pitch Intense and a captain of Pitch Intense. Say hello, Nate.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me.
We also have our good friend and now our gimp. Oh, Kwame. He plays for Wolfpack and had to leave the field to go fix his torn Achilles tendon, but he has so graciously decided to join us on today's podcast. Thank you, Kwame. Welcome.
Hey, everybody.
And last, but certainly not least, our very favorite tournament director who looks really low on the screen right now.
Sit up straight, Chad.
Oh, to get up there then. All right. Okay.
We got Chad Martin.
Hey, everybody.
Well, thanks, everyone, for joining. Sorry we were a couple minutes late. We had some technical difficulties. I mean, per usual. So it wouldn't be a podcast without it.
So as you guys know, this is the LVee Live. Usually this podcast works mostly for the Connecticut leagues, but we've branched out since this Northeast tournament has such a big pull. I myself am Sarah V, and then this is our lovely tall Sasquatch, Lauren Basallo, or LVee. We love her.
So we just kind of want to get right into it because we have a lot of stuff that we want to talk about. So I wanted to first start about initial reactions from the day. Let's start with Samir on this. Samir, what were your initial reactions from the day? What did you guys think of the tournament in general?
I think we all felt pretty good coming in. It was hot. It was very hot out there. And then it was a lot of glass on our field, unfortunately. It's not Chad's fault, but, it was a lot of glass out there. But other than that, I felt the fields were, pretty good, even though it was a tailgate field.
Certainly was. It certainly was. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, the fields that we played on during football season are parking lots for UConn football, and a lot of people tailgate there, hence why they are so dry and why there is probably glass in the field. But let's talk to Chad about that. Chad, what were your initial reactions?
Well, I mean, we've been playing there for 3 years, and obviously we've never had something like that happen. So I think, in this case, there just happened to be some glass that was under the dirt there in just a really bad spot right before third base, and it's one of those unfortunate things. I'm actually considering not doing the tournament again just because of that reason. Even though we've been there for 3 years, we've never had a problem. Other than if we do go back there, it's going to have to be, we'll go out there with a rake to make sure there's nothing out there.
Yeah.
I have a question. Since the Hartford Yard goats to the baseball team, since Connecticut continually thinks that they're going to do well in baseball, their stadium is now up for grabs. What do you think about us going there? Dunkin' Donuts, right?
Dunkin' Donuts Park.
Yeah,
Dunkin'
I
Donuts
mean, I don't see why we couldn't do it. I mean, $200 registration fee per player, we could probably make it happen.
Yeah, totally.
Whatever.
No, let's not do that, Chad. Let's not do that, Chad.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Next up, Nate, how about you? What are your thoughts from the day?
Things were a little scary the first 30 minutes of the day when there was not one portage on for the entire facility. But that's the happiest I've ever seen a group of people when that guy came with the truck full of them. My biggest thing is it was 12 teams deep, and it was pretty solid 12 from my previous experience there. Just from top to bottom, there wasn't any teams that were ones you could just pick on or beat up on. It was solid players on every single team out there. So every game we played in was a good one. That's my biggest takeaway.
And last but certainly not least, we got Kwame. Kwame, what did you think aside from, the obvious?
No, overall it was great. I think we saw the attraction that the Northeast is finally getting now, with the big teams showing up and coming to play with us. We show that the Northeast has contenders now that people want to come take a look at. Overall, the field was perfect. Like, it sucks for that glass, but I also know that Chad moved the field to adjust for that, so everything was perfect. But yeah, you're right about the bathrooms when they brought them over. A lot of people were way too happy to be in porta potties somewhere. So other than that, it was awesome.
You gotta go. You gotta go. I mean.
Can I ask one question, Kwame?
Yo.
Does your brother play for Lights Out? I mean, for pitching team?
We won't visit that topic.
They're twins.
Oh, okay.
For those who don't know, JJ, who is on,
Yeah. Well,
we call him Boston Kwame because pitching tent's from Boston, but Kwame's recently moved to San Francisco, so now we have a East Coast Kwame and a West Coast Kwame, but technically that's wrong because JJ's older than Kwame, so we're going to have to start calling you West Coast JJ.
I think that's true, yeah.
Sorry.
But it's just ironic, the similarities between the two.
I'm so mad.
Wilding out right now.
Time I met the guys from Pitching Tent, I go to Mike and I'm like, he is just like Kwame, like his mannerisms and everything. He's like, you're just saying that because they're both small. I'm like, no, I'm not.
Hey, JJ's a better dancer, though. Just saying.
Oh, I'll give it to him. Yeah, man. That man can salsa dance all day around me.
He also proved in Vegas he has a better backflip.
Bad about that.
Better pecs. What do you want from me? I saw him. Nice.
tell JJ I didn't mean anything when I said we got the real JJ at back catching.
The Periscope, our Big Dave commentary talking about JJ over there.
That's right. We had 3 boogies in this
There's probably
tournament.
more.
Okay, so where we're going to go from here, just really quickly, we kind of want to go through some of the surprise games of each hour, or at least what we thought were the surprise games. If any of you guys have any other results that you want to touch on, please feel free. But from the 9 a.m. games, the game that stuck out to us was Diamond Snakes versus See You Next Tournament. Diamond Snakes, which was the Hartford, Connecticut-based team, beat See You Next Tournament 4-2, which I think, Diamond Snakes was like a 12 seed, I think?
No, they were down there.
They were a low seed, and they came in and they played really well in those pool play games. I know a lot of us didn't watch any of these games, but does anyone else have any comments from some of the 9 a.m. games?
Since I wasn't playing, I was watching some of these games. I thought it was interesting. There was a lot of errors on See You Next Tuesday, and I had them coming out of pool play strong and being in the Final Four, and I was pretty disappointed to see that. Diamond Snakes, however, after the first podcast, said that we showed them no respect. This is kickball. It's not about respect. You're plumbing from a league, and you're going up against a hot tournament team, but, I mean, great for you guys. Like, you did well, and they started out strong. They made it out of pool play. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But
you guys have anything you want to add from any of those 9 a.m. games or any of the 9 a.m. games that you guys played in? Chad, I saw you have your hand up.
Yeah, in regards to the Diamond Snakes and See You Next Tournament, right? So I think the situation here is Diamond Snakes just came out hungry. They had heard on the podcast that, they weren't getting a lot of respect as the 12 seed. They came out hungry, and I think See You Next Tournament just came out flat. And it was the same thing that happened to them last year as well. They came out flat, and LI Kick beat them in that first round. And, that they had to just scrap, so, I tip my cap to Diamond Snakes for coming out hungry, getting it done. 12 over a 6 to start their day. I mean, that really set them up to make it out of pool play.
Yeah.
Yes, Nate, go ahead.
I would like to see that game played if the last game of the day. I think was it See You Next? Is it See You Next Tuesday? Is that really what the?
We're saying Tuesday. See You Next Tournament. Well,
See You Next Tournament. I know. LVee said that last time. I didn't know if that was actually it. I mean, we played them. I know Shockwave had a really good game against them. I bet they came out expecting that to be their easiest game of the tournament. They probably didn't have their best lineup in, probably didn't start with the best players. I bet there's a different result if that's played 2 hours later.
Samir or Kwame, do you guys have anything you want to say?
In regards to Diamond Snakes?
Or anything in those 9 a.m. games?
I know we had a 9 a.m. game, I believe. Fresh out the car.
So yeah, you guys drove up like through the night. So what time did you get there in the morning?
I think we got there like around maybe 7:30. We went to Walmart, cleaned up a little bit, and then we came on out to the field. But yeah, we got there like around 8:30, and then we had to start warming up. I can't remember who we played first. I know we kind of like we went to work on Diamond Snakes though.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, they did.
And you guys had a really close game, right, with them, the other team after?
I think it was See You Next Tournament or whoever.
Their only close game was the last one.
Yeah, See You Next Tournament. So like Nate was saying before, they turned it up. See You Next Tournament was prepared probably by their third game. But Diamond Stakes, yeah, they'll get a lot of hate because they're coming from Hartford. It was their second year in the tournament. They have to know. It's almost like you have to get your knocks before you start winning. You gotta go your knocks. Gotta get through the tournaments. Gotta go through the hard teams because a lot of times people think they're good in their local tournament teams or local area, and then they go to these tournaments and they're like, yeah, we can do well. And then you see how good these teams are, and you're like, it's a whole nother level.
Yeah, and I think the other thing about this tournament that, we emphasized in our original podcast, and I know it was emphasized on the Facebook event, was we were having teams come from out of state that were very good contenders. So, a lot of these Connecticut teams that signed up thinking that they've never seen anything other than Connecticut kickball. So I think this was kind of a wake-up call for them.
Yeah, we'll touch on that a little bit more later, but that definitely made things a lot different this year than in the past. And whether people, Diamond Snakes, I don't know if they even know about circuit or anything, but I'm sure they'd never heard of Shockwave until they got their asses kicked. So, sorry guys.
Moving on to the 10 a.m. games, the big surprise at that hour was the Extra Talent versus Pounders game. Extra Talent, which was a Connecticut-based Hartford Haven kind of hodgepodge thrown together team, beat Virginia Peninsula former circuit powerhouse team. They beat them 4-3. It was a very close game. I was shocked when I heard that score, and I know the captain of Extra Talent, Russell Morris, had a shitty grin on his face for the rest of the day.
And he will for the rest of the year.
Yeah. Chad, do you have anything that you would like to say about that game? Or about any of the 10 a.m. games?
Yeah, I think that Extra Talent team, they just really gelled quickly. For an availables team and having some rookies on the team, they just stepped it up right away. They played that first game against Boom Shakalaka and they lost 5-2. Coming out playing the defending champions and then playing Pounders in that second game. They just played great, and you could just tell their attitude was, hey, we're having fun and we're pretty good at kickball, and we just beat the Pounders. So I was really impressed with Extra Talent. I thought this team had a chance of making it out of pool play, and they did. And I think the Pounders, I'm not really sure what happened in that game. I think they may have just been a little flat, but they definitely woke up after that. But, definitely tip my cap to Extra Talent because that was a big win for them. Big win.
Well, I'm going to give Wolfie all the credit.
Can't give Wolfie all the credit.
Does anyone else have anything they would like to add from any of the 10 a.m. games? I know, Nate, we had our first 10 a.m. game, or our first game at 10 a.m. Was there anything that you wanted to add from anything there?
I think that was our 2-0 game against, was that Lannister?
Lannister kids, yeah.
Lannisters.
No, it was a really good game. It was very defensive. We couldn't get things going offensively, but thankfully some sweet charging and pitching performance and catching performances where they didn't really have any opportunities to score. So it was 2-0, but we kind of felt in control that whole time. But
Agreed.
defensively, that team was good.
Yeah, they were really good. That was a.
No, they're actually part of them are from Worcester, right?
I know some of them were from Worcester.
Oh,
They
I didn't know
had,
that.
Jim Jenkins was on that team. He was from Worcester, right? That was that team.
It was Honey plays with part of them, I guess.
Honey has played with that team in New York last year. But yeah, they had a mixed bag of players, but they were decent.
But Jeffrey did not win the throne.
Joffrey.
King Joffrey.
Samir, Kwame, did you guys have anything you wanted to add from your 10 a.m. games?
I can't even remember who we played at 10 o'clock.
I'll tell you.
Maybe we could tell you.
Diamond Snakes, I think it was.
That was your beatdown.
So
Yeah.
we already know.
All right.
I think you guys just scored again on him. Huh?
You won. I'm gonna go with I think you won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, Samir, are you in Paris?
Oh no, it's I'm at an undisclosed location. You know, I can't.
Oh!
I can't give out too much. But yeah, it's a lot of Paris going on in here. It is.
Getting ready for that Euro tournament.
It's that new training facility they got.
That's impressive.
National.
Yeah,
Worldwide.
I didn't realize Baltimore was so beautiful. Wow.
I love Baltimore.
Yeah, I've never actually even been to Baltimore. I don't know. I just know you guys have Charm City Cakes, which I really want to go to.
Oh, I'm not in Baltimore. I don't like anything about Baltimore.
Oh, all right. Well, there you go.
I'm DC all the way.
Oh, okay. You were okay.
So they
Yeah.
played See You Next tournament. That was their closest.
Oh, okay. So you guys played See You Next tournament that second game, which was the 2-1 game. So what was
Right.
No, I lied. They played.
No, that was their last game.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Listen, I can only do so much. I mean,
She drink. She you know, she got a little bottle right there.
I'm the backbone.
Okay.
Diamond Snakes, 11-0. So yeah, you won.
All right. So we'll move on to the next, the 11 a.m. block of games.
Yeah, I'll do it for you. Sure.
Where am I?
11 a.m.
So 11 a.m. So that was the Shockwave game, 2-1 versus See You Next tournament. So yeah, why don't you just take us through that, Samir? What was going on there?
Offensively, we couldn't get going at first. We always have one game in pool play where we kind of play pretty bad, especially if we score a lot of runs in the tournament. But I think they loaded the bases up on us, and we kind of got out of a jam, and they only scored one run out of that. So you know, and then I think we stepped it up in the last inning to score those. Well, it was 1-1, so we scored the last run in the last inning, I believe.
The other big game that what we thought was a memorable.
Yeah. So you know.
Go ahead. Sorry, John.
It's on you, Chad.
The one time
Chad,
that
what
everyone's
were you gonna
quiet. Jeez.
I have a comment I'd like to make about that game. Well, more about See You Next tournament, right? I mean, so what we saw last year with them is they came out flat and then they got hot towards the end. And you know, it was a similar story in this tournament. You know, they took Shockwave, you know, to a one-run game there. I mean, after losing to the 12 seed, I mean, they're just streaky. You know, you never know with this team. You know, that's just the way that they play.
And you know what? Honestly, like these tournament days,
They're long.
they're long. You know, anyone can come out and surprise you.
I was exhausted after. I mean,
And I mean, it's
Yeah, you played a hell of a tournament.
I played all day with my jokes.
okay. The other game in that hour block was Lannister kids.
Lannister versus Wolfpack. So this is actually the game Wolfpack lost, 2-1, I believe. And I walked over there because I was trying to collect scores to post on the interwebs. And I kind of got the last inning whiff of what was going on. Apparently the ref said, like, we're going to play one more inning, but then they ran out of time. And according to Wolfpack, they blew through their bottom three and got them all out because they wanted to get to their top, but that inning never started. Frankly, that's poor planning. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Whoa. Let's wind it back and talk about the beginning of the game, so how the scores were going.
Oh yeah, I forgot you were there. Oh, okay.
Let's hold the brakes there for a while. So the beginning, yeah, it was definitely challenging all the way through. A lot of times we say is calls weren't being made our way and other calls weren't being made the other team's way. But I would say towards the end, what ended up happening is the ref made the announcement that, hey, we're going to be playing one more inning, without really confirming with anybody or confirming to make sure the time is correct. But then he went back and changed his notes. That's what caused the big issue of, wait, what inning are we playing? We're going to play one more or not one more. So that's the cause of confusion, because a lot of times when you're told one thing, your game plan goes another way, and then you're told another, you lose that whole game plan. So that's why we ran through that last inning to go through it quick enough to get to the next inning. But overall, yeah, I would just say overall the biggest thing I would say for our team and our game was just executing that towards those last innings of the game where we couldn't execute and mistakes started to pile up here and there. That's when Lannister started getting those runs on us.
I mean, frankly, like, no offense, Kwame, but that is something that Wolfpack lacks, is their offensive, getting on base and scoring runs. Like, your defense is usually solid, but scoring runs is a slippery slope. But, coming from someone who's run competitive teams, if I am looking at the time, which we should definitely be doing, and I see the time is getting short, I'm not going to cost getting people out. I'm going to make everybody try to get on as hard as they can. It doesn't matter.
Well, it's just it's a difference of game plan. That's all.
Sure.
You're a winner if it works. You're a loser if it doesn't lose. Yeah.
Chad, was there anything from that game that you saw and wanted to add?
Chad got called over to intervene.
Hey, when it's a Wolfpack game, it's always heated. I won't deny that.
A good thing?
Hey, we're passionate people. They don't call us Elm City Wolfpack for nothing.
Especially y'all pitcher, man. He is hilarious.
Big Dave, man. He's our man. He keeps it going.
He did the commentary of the Periscope, which also, I guess, is on Phil's video. That's me and Big Dave. And I saw him, and I'm like, you're coming over here, and you're giving me comments.
Oh, man.
I don't know why anyone calls him Big Dave. I mean, he's kind of small.
I know, he's so tiny, right?
We can call you Big LVee. I'm kidding.
She was not happy about that.
She's like 6 foot.
Anyway. Run down, please. Run down, please.
Oh, sorry. I had like 3 drinks at dinner.
So we're going to now just really quickly just go over, after pool play, the elimination seeds. PI came out on top at number 1. Shockwave was number 2.
Wait, did we skip the 12 o'clock games?
Yeah, we're running out of time, and there really isn't anything that interesting. I mean, PI.
Unless Nate,
I just wanted to pay some respect to Kwame over here. Catches a ball while tearing his Achilles. I mean, that deserves some respect.
Oh, that's true. That's where Kwame got his boo-boo.
Oh, thank you, Nate.
That's it.
Big boo-boo.
Still made the catch in pain, yeah.
So, Kwame, why don't you give us a frame-by-frame recap of what happened to you?
Frame-by-frame recap? Okay, I'm in outfield, waiting out there. Pitch Intense kicks one ball out to the left outfield where I couldn't get it right down the line, which sucks. So it was a full sprint getting that one. Then the second kick is out there, and it's up in the air. And I know that Becca was on third, right? Not Bex was on third. Becca, my bad. Sorry, Becca. She was on third base, and I knew she was going to run on me. So it's one of those ideas where, catch and throw in as quick as possible. So my whole mindset is going through that, and all of a sudden you make the catch, and then you hear a loud pop, and you're like, oh, yeah, you're good. Someone just kick you in the back. But no, that's not what happened.
So
that's a bad teammate if that's happening.
That's a horrible teammate. They kick you in the back of the leg while you're trying to make a catch.
That's what's so funny about it. So, like, I partially tore my Achilles 2 years ago, and it literally feels like someone shot you with a bow and an arrow, right in that spot, and then you go to get up, and you're like, wait, what? I can't. What?
Mm-hmm.
But we obviously hope that you heal it fast, but we're happy you're staying in New Jersey, so...
Yeah, how long are you staying in Jersey for, Pom Pom?
I mean, we should probably stop there.
Well, we will see. We will see. The doctor's office is tomorrow, so I get the good old MRI test. We'll see from there.
Anywho, all right, so 12 o'clock games, that's kind of the low high point, I guess. Moving on from pool play, the elimination seeding came out with PI on top with number 1, Shockwave was number 2, Counters were number 3, Their Kids were number 4, Extra Talent 6, Diamond Snake 7, and See You Next Tournament 8. And I remember seeing this, and I was like, that 8 seed is going to be tricky. It's either, they're going to not really be an 8 seed, but they ended up really an 8 seed. And it was interesting that the bottom 3 teams ended up making it out of pool play. Pool play.
Whoa.
Chad, did you want to take us through that a little bit?
Yo, Chad, you up?
I'm sorry, you're breaking up. What?
Nap time.
There it starts. There's LVee's laugh, guys. There it is. Wind it up.
Someone hit the mute button.
Hit the mute on her. Hit the
Hit
mute.
mute.
Chad, they wanted to know about the lineup that you had and the standings they had out of pool play.
The moment's gone. But Chad, just so you know, I had some cricket noise queued up for you because I know you're not paying attention. It's so funny.
All right, go ahead, Chad. Talk
He's
about
still not. He's still not. Look at that.
Yeah. So what I thought was. So what I thought was interesting, one note, around the seedings coming out of pool play was there was a chance that Shockwave and PI could have been completely tied if PI had given up 1 run in that last game. And when I went through the tiebreaker rules in WAKA, it was going to potentially come down to a rock paper scissors challenge to see who was going to get the 1 or the 2.
You guys didn't have a chance.
But PI ended up giving up 0 runs in pool play, and they got the 1 seed, and, they what was that?
No, Samir, they wouldn't have stand a chance.
Always wins rock, paper, scissors.
My rock, paper, scissors game is
sorry,
strong.
my video is really choppy.
We can work this out right now.
We can try something. It might be kind of bad, but we might do something.
Well, yeah.
Keep going, Chad. It's like shit.
Okay, so we're going to move on from Chad. Something wrong
We need the screenshot every single time we ask Chad a question because he just smiles.
He's like,
because I can't really hear what you guys saying. Like, I can't half your sentence. So.
It's gonna happen in 40 years and nobody you're hearing.
Oh. Like next year. Sorry.
Wow, the hate is strong.
All right, Chad, go ahead. We realize you're on like a 10-second delay, so we'll wait for 10 seconds.
It's gonna be a bad dubbed movie.
Can you continue what you were saying?
Oh, man. We might gotta do something else here.
Yeah, let's move on from Chad.
Move on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Chad, I know it ain't you, baby.
All right,
I just see the viewer
Anyway,
count just getting destroyed right now.
What?
What do you mean? Our viewer count's great.
Yeah, we're at the highest.
Yeah, start it off, Elliot. Start off the first playoff game.
Semi-final game. We've got PI versus Boom. PI won 7-1.
Did we already go through the first round?
We did,
I think
but if there was something that you wanted to go through.
No, I don't. No, we're good. Just.
Yeah,
You gotta notice them.
I mean, they were pretty much wipeouts except for the Boom game, but they're not here, so.
All right.
Oh, LVee's gonna show you the bracket.
So here you go, everyone. Here is how the day played out. Oh.
Yeah. Okay, I remember limbs.
So yeah, that first round we got Pitch and 10. See You Next Tournament, which was 9-0, right?
9-0. Yeah.
9-0. Lannister Kids, Boom, 1-2. That went to Boom Shakalaka.
Great.
Shockwave, Diamond Snakes, which was 12-0. And Pounders versus Extra Talent, which was 11-1. So Pounders got their revenge on Extra Talent in that round.
But then they quickly lost all of it because then they moved on to Shockwave and womp womp.
But
5-0.
was there anything that you guys wanted to add from the quarterfinals?
Chad, control your dog.
Just a number 5 beat a number 4. That's all you could say, right?
Well, CU next tournament was not the team we thought we would be playing as a 1 seed. I mean, they just came off a 2-1 loss to Shockwave, so that was not the ideal matchup. Especially when they had Vinny at Charger, he's always a challenge. But that was the best game offensive we played all tournament, so didn't have to worry too much.
Yeah, we looked over and seen y'all. Y'all kind of kept it away from Vinny. All I kept seeing was Vinny going like this.
Yeah, Vinny was not as aggressive as I expected him to. Vinny used to play in my league team about 2 seasons ago, and he was not really going for it. I don't know if he like gave up or didn't care anymore. Devon made a
You guys got more of what you're drinking there?
Yeah. Is some Henny over there?
There's something.
Mike Seltzers. Nobody can see
Oh yeah,
us.
no one's here. Okay, so moving on to the second round, the semifinals. We got Boom versus Pitch Intense versus Boom Shakalaka. Pitch Intense won 6-1, although I thought it was 7-1. And then Shockwave versus the Pounders. Shockwave won 5-0.
Your eyes rolled that bad.
Yes. Samir, why don't you talk to us about your game versus the Pounders? How did you guys feel? I mean, when I was first talking to a viewer, he was like, "Oh yeah, they're Shockwave is killing them." But then I heard it was just 3-0. I'm like, "Oh, well, they could still come back," but clearly that didn't happen. So tell me what was going on through your guys' head.
Basically, we had a little bit of bulletin board material for the Pounders. When he said we haven't won anything in a while, so we kind of took that kind of personal.
Yeah, because you guys have played against Pounders, or at least a lot of those guys that play on Pounders pretty often, right?
Well, I know we played. We had a tournament in Virginia Beach, and I think a few of my teammates played in the WAKA tournament in VA, and I think they played them then. A few of the Pounders, or what is their team name? The Hammerheads.
Mm-hmm.
And the Hammerheads beat them pretty good. And then they came over and they played in the Goombay tournament, and we beat them then as another team name. But it was just a few of them. But I don't think Brent was playing. But that game against the Pounders, it was we started off pretty strong. They got on base really at the end, towards the end. I know one of the first basemen got kind of pissed off at the questionable ref from the championship game.
I wonder why.
He said his foot was off the bag. I agree, but it was a pretty good game. Brent kind of caught a ball to the face, and I kind of made a little comment to him.
What happens? So did one of your girls, apparently. She caught it to the throat.
Oh, yeah, that was in the championship game.
Yeah. How's she doing?
Yeah, we'll get to that later.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
He's a trooper. Chad, was there anything?
Why are we going back to Chad?
Oh wait, Chad, are you back on? Are you good? Oh.
Yeah, I think I'm back.
Okay. Hey, welcome back.
It was his Wi-Fi.
I think I'm back.
That makeshift duct tape seems to be doing really well.
For those who don't know, Chad's phone is duct taped to his computer.
I'm not back.
I think Chad's got AOL dial-up, so he might be late.
Every third word.
You got that CD working.
Yeah, we tried calling him earlier, just busy the whole time.
56K.
Like Chaz. Kickball, WAKA.
969.
Chad's WAKA Prez. But yeah, Chad, I don't know if you were able to watch that quarterfinal game, Shockwave Pounders, but if you did, was there anything that you wanted to add?
Yeah, no, I really didn't see much of that game. I just know Shockwave was in control pretty much the whole way. So is that a dial-up? Is that a dial-up
Yeah,
zone?
these two are the worst.
I'm running the soundboard. I also was playing crickets before when you weren't answering.
I think I'm only gonna do these from my car from now on.
It was better.
It's not weird or anything.
He goes to Dunkin' Donuts Wi-Fi.
Cable Wi-Fi. Kwame or Nate, was there anything that you guys wanted to add off in this game?
I was playing. I have no idea what happened in that game.
Yeah, I don't.
I was at urgent care, so
Oh,
I
right.
Way to bring it up.
So yeah, now we'll move. The other semifinal game there was PI versus Boom. PI won 6-1.
Technically 7-1 if you watch the video.
Yeah, I don't know. According to Phil's video, it said 7-1, so I'm not really sure what the final score was.
All I remember of that game is Adrock was rolling around in the dirt a lot. And he was not even catching a ball or making a play. He was literally just like a pig in a pig pen.
I disagree with that. I definitely saw him making some plays. I would like to see what one of his legs looks like today, because that thing was just pure pink after the tournament. He's got it. I mean, Big on our team's leg looks pretty bad, but I imagine Adrock's looks even worse.
Yeah, I do know sorry, I'm adding my charger here. I do know that Adrock's leg was very disgustingly dirty. It was like literally just black from all the dirt. I'm trying to find the photo now. But Nate, why don't you take us through that game? What did you think? What did you think about Boom? What did you think about PI?
Well, this is a game we probably we're looking forward to a little more than them. I don't know if you guys remember, but last year we were in the same exact situation, playing Boom. We were the top seed, I believe, and we just did not play our best, and they played a fantastic game and beat us and kicked us out of the tournament last year. So we were.
I'm sorry, I'm off the split of my ear.
That's okay.
She's hilarious.
Yeah. Just ask her.
Now you know. Now you know what I deal with every single time we did the podcast.
V, you need to have like
this is all they
you
did.
need to have a mute button just ready for LV's laugh. No, but we were pumped and ready to go. We were ready. We were making sure that we weren't going to make the same mistakes as last year. And actually, this is the first time all tournament we were down. We went down 1-0. The first run we allowed in the entire tournament, and then the offense started pouring in as the game went on. So it was a great redemption game. Joe Kennedy played absolutely lights on fire, and Jeff made some Is that even a saying? Jeff made some great plays at catcher, and Sadler was on pitching. So everything we needed to go was going after that first inning.
You probably had themselves still muted. So.
Sorry, I currently have a lot of bugs in my house. We have a mosquito and a moth. It's right next to the pineapple. Under it?
At least let's start the discussion for the final game now while you guys try and kill a bug.
Okay. Sorry, Chad. Were you able to watch at all that PI Boom game? Was there anything that you wanted to add on that?
You're going to say Boom game.
Yeah, that game I really didn't see much of either, so I don't really have much else to add.
He answered. Alright, LVee. Cool.
Got it. I got it.
God.
versus Shockwave.
Woo. Oh, this is my part. Okay. Get it together, Sasa.
Let's start with you on this. What were your... Oh, all right.
Who's you?
Let's get your initial reactions from the game, Nate. What did you think? Have at it.
I think just based on the play of the tournament, you clearly had the top two teams of the tournament going into it. I think at that point we had each only allowed one run on the entire day, so we knew runs were going to be tough to come by. I mean, let's face it, we're playing against Shockwave. Earlier you said there were, at one point it was 3-0 and the team might come back. Like, you're not going to come back 3-0 on Shockwave. So we knew we had to play a perfect game on defense, and we had to somehow put some people on base together to score some runs. It's a 1-0 game. I mean, it was awesome to be a part of. Obviously, there were some other things that were going on I'm sure we're going to talk about later, but that's just good kickball. I mean, that's how the top games are usually played. They're 1-0, 2-1 games.
And, yeah, I will... Yeah, sorry about that one-run score there. I still am freaking pissed off because I freaking had it. But
Appreciate you.
That was LVee. There's drops, and then there's one that dude absolutely roped. I can't. I think it was your cleanup kicker. It just hits this absolute blazing line drive. Like that's
Carlos.
Who was it?
Carlos.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not one people should catch. That's just a great kick.
No,
I mean,
it's not a typical.
It happened later in the game in the opposite when Sadler kicked one, and unfortunately, one of your teammates was on the receiving end. But yeah, I mean, it was a great leadoff bunt. Was that you who got on first? Was that?
That was JJ. I told you, the real JJ.
The real JJ.
Yeah.
Or I find the same JJ. Kwame and these two JJs are probably all the same people, and they're fucking with us.
Inception bullshit. Samir, what do you think about the game?
I thought it was a real competitive.
I'm so funny, and people think I'm so funny.
Let the man talk.
Nah, I thought it was a real competitive game. The Charger I thought was really good, and the pitcher he was pitching some gas too. And it was tough to find spots out there. Like, we couldn't really paint it like how we wanted to paint it. But like I said, the Charger, he was doing a hell of a job scooping it and throwing it to first. He was getting a lot of our good bunters out. And then we had opportunities to kick. We wanted to figure out. Everything okay?
They're muted. We're good.
Yeah.
But no, I felt it was all it was a tough game. A tough game.
Chad, is there anything that you would like to add about this game?
Yeah, I mean, basically it's your classic, great kickball game, 1-0. I thought that Pitch Intense might have had a little bit of an advantage because they had been playing on that field the whole day, and Shockwave had to move over to a very, very different field. Shockwave's field had much better grass, and the Pitch Intense field towards the end was really falling apart. It had a lot of dirt, it had a lot of dust, and some holes. Yeah, and I thought that that could weigh in a bit on the game, but Shockwave just they can adapt, and they played great, so it was just a great game overall.
Kwame, from a fan perspective, what did you think about the game?
It's a game that every kickball fan wants to go watch, man. You got Pitch Intense, there's your Northeast, so you had the local, basically they were like the local team, around. They weren't the Connecticut Hartford team, would we want to be there, but Pitch Intense was there. And then, obviously, if you played circuit, you've heard of Shockwave, you've seen a Shockwave, so you know when the Shockwave's playing, it's going to be a Shockwave game. There's going to be intensity, there's going to be action, and there's going to be line drive kicks. It's going to be where it's most kickball games you always do it's one mistake. Usually it's either one mistake or one great kick that usually decides the game.
I teach middle school. Even my kids know who Shockwave is. They don't even have to be kickball fans.
Now, the big thing that I know that came out of this game, what everyone knows about, is what I guess is now affectionately known as recall.
So, I mean, one thing that we should talk about, we all basically, so what happened, Aaron Freeman kicked the ball that was not caught.
It was caught.
Well, that was caught.
So,
That was a nasty catch. Don't take that away from him.
Yeah.
I don't know how it...
that was my guy, Chuck.
Props to Chuck, 'cause I don't know. I saw it live, and I didn't realize how difficult it was, and then I saw it on the video, and I'm just, how did he get his hands around that so it didn't fall?
I was surprised, too.
That was a shoelace grab for sure. That was a shoelace grab. So, yeah, Becca was on third. She let off the bag. Chuck bobbled it at first. Becca went back and tagged up, and then as Chuck caught it, Becca ran home
and slid headfirst into home. So basically, what the debate was she didn't tag up, and there was an out on third. When we go to watch the video, thanks Doug Davis for completely getting in the way. He
literally was just there, like, I'm just gonna stand right here.
Literally. And it looks like the bag moves a little bit, which you can only assume is because her foot is touching it. Honestly, it is what it is. If it was the wrong call, it's the wrong call, and the ref will, work it through, and that's what it is. All in all, I think it was a really interesting game to watch, and I think, there were some other errors. No offense, obviously, my boyfriend plays on PI, like I support PI, but there were probably Milo could have kicked a way better ball to get the runner from third home. LVee could have caught the ball. There's other things that could have happened, so I would.
That's a shot.
She's fired at Milo.
She's fired.
Vicious.
Oh,
vicious.
Lethal.
I mean, it's obviously my team that. Ooh, sorry, Sarah.
No, I was going to say, regardless, I think there's other situations that could have happened where was PI outplayed. I think it came down to these technical things, and to put it all on one call, part of it is definitely from a shitty call. The other part of it, I think, is just errors, and that's what happens when two really good teams come together. It's basically who makes the mistake first. You've been playing all day. You're tired. Your starters are tired. You're hot. Like, this is normal. But for the record, we did mention to Kyle, who was the ref, we asked him if he wanted to come onto the show. He said that he sent something to PI, and he doesn't feel like he should be on the show right now, but he's already said it, and that's that. So it's handled. It is what it is.
Nate, let's. Oh wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Kwame, hold on one second. Nate, I want to get your opinion, then Samir, and then I'll get yours, Kwame, and then yours, Chad. But go ahead, Nate.
No, I just want to say I honestly hate that after probably the best tournament that we've had as a team, and probably the best team I've played on, and one of the better games I've played in is that it led to so much controversy after. I hated the talk. I'd rather have us talking about how we allowed 2 runs in the entire day and how we limited Shockwave to 1 run. Like that, those are great things for our team. I don't feel great about how some of the stuff was said after the game. Some of the captains have reached out to Shockwave captains trying to settle it all and end it there. I think I'm going to focus on the fact that Becca got to third, and that did you see how fast in the video that girl can run? Like I can see why that would be a close call and why people would see that coming. And it was a great kick by Aaron to put it in right field. And I'd rather focus on those 2 things and move on from it and get ready for the next tournament. And hope to.
Gold medal.
I guess I should say I don't want to. I shouldn't say I hope to see Shockwave soon, because those games aren't the easiest to win. But I look forward to another tournament against them, and hopefully we can see each other again in Vegas in a later round. That's my main point on it all.
Samir, how about you?
I initially thought because I mean, out of the corner of my eye, I initially thought that she led off and she went. So I immediately, shoot the lows at third to get the out. I couldn't really tell in the video. We're gonna have our, you'll have your side, I have mine. But I thought she did, jump off the bag and go. And that's just live. I know we had the video and Phil, he's been in the group and he's been showing us. So, it's cool. We still love you, Phil. But yeah, Chuck made first G made a good catch for the first out. That was foul territory, I believe.
Yep.
And then Chuck made, a hell of a catch. And then, he made a great throw to home. Even if she was the score, it would have been a hell of a play home. Even though she did, if the play was good, she would have scored. But I hate that it had to come down to that as well, because I felt like it was such a great game and we couldn't really talk about possibly going into extra innings or possibly talking about what Nate said about it being a one-run game and everybody playing such a great game.
Kwame, I know you had your hand up earlier. What did you want to add to the conversation?
I just wanted to add in terms of the beginning of the game, look at the general of the game. Like, Shockwave got that one run. Do you guys remember how they got it? Like,
I can tell you.
I dropped the ball. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, did you? I didn't know that one. Oh. Love you, LVee. No, overall, and like I said, it was a great, intense game, and it's one of those things like it was a game intense all the way through. She's drinking her life away now. The biggest thing I would say is I guess my understanding of it as a fan of looking for it. Typically, when you look at the tag up rule, you look at when a first contact rule and stuff like that, there's a lot of things that come into effect that a lot of people have not connected together in terms of, oh, he did the double catch or the ref called something else like that. How do you think in progressions for next games and stuff like that you think WAKA would try and look into? This is more for Chad. I was look into calls like that, calls that are. It's not saying it's game changing, but it's how do you make sure in terms of the people that are playing that a call is being made and a call is saying that yes, it didn't affect the game as much. So an example would be is in soccer, you don't want a ref to control the game. You don't want a ref's call to control the outcome of the game.
Yeah.
I think
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're asking me, right? So
Yeah.
what I always say in all of these kickball games, right, is there's going to be close plays. People are going to make a call. They could be right. They could be wrong. We don't have instant replay. I go to the NFL and, where there's high-definition cameras and we zoom in and we look at a play and you got a guy in New York saying that he's in bounds and then you got the guy in the booth saying he's out of bounds. I mean, so these things, it's going to be imperfect. I mean, that's just the way, the nature of the game, no matter how much technology you might put into it. There's going to be a human element, and people are going to have to make a call, and they're going to have to stick with their call. It is unfortunate that this call, turned out potentially to change the game, but at the end of the day, the refs have to make a call.
And not to necessarily say that would have changed the game. I mean, it could have been that Shockwave won, 2-1 on that if he did let it stand and the score run. It could have been 2-1, But at that point, if the call stood, the momentum shift would have changed. The potential of the game could have changed, and it would have been fun, honestly. Like I think Claudio said it best. He wrote it in a post where it would have been fun, And I always enjoy playing in extra innings and Kansas City and all that. I think it's a good time and it's competitive and it makes for good kickball. And it would have been fun to see what would have happened.
I think that's something.
Well, It probably would have ended in rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah. At the end.
Let me call Carlos.
That's what the fans want. The fans want the RPS.
So I think that there's something that we should be discussing here outside of the call. I mean, what are the thoughts on refs that have played in the tournament and have lost being refs? Like, I understand Kyle is also a WAKA staff member, and I get it, but I mean, being in this tournament turned very competitive this year. I don't know if it's because the Virginia regional tournament didn't have a great showing, but you know, we got a big draw, and I mean, I personally think that refs should be an external piece, like some of them were. And they should kind of follow the same format that 365 does, where you're not associated to a team where you've played, you know, prior in the day, and you're there to do your job, which is ref. You're not drinking at all, and that's that. And I mean, whether it was if it was somebody different or regardless, I'm a firm believer that it just, you know, it makes it a little confusing sometimes, and people may be like, oh, well, he played prior, or we don't know, or blah, 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 and it definitely makes you question intentions, because that person, you know, and that's how WAKA's run. I don't think that's anything like chat. I think that's just how WAKA is, and, you know, you do it in your own league play. You have to pay to play, and you have to pay to ref, essentially. Does anybody have anything to say about that?
Chad, let's start with you on that.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, WAKA, you know, like you said, in our leagues, we are a self-ref league. You know, the thing is, you know, we've all played with each other at some point. I mean, we're all, you know, friends for the most part off the field. Kickball, the kickball community is a small community, right? So no matter who is reffing a game, you're gonna have some tie to some person in some game in some way. Right, and so if we got outside refs, and I've seen the circuit, and they do a lot of outside refs, I've seen some really, really bad refs that don't know the game, they don't know the sport, and so you might be solving one problem, but you're introducing a lot of other problems. So you know, in terms of Kyle, he is a certified WAKA referee. He is a WAKA employee. I mean, yes, he knows people on both sides, but pretty much anybody in that tournament you put in that spot is going to know somebody in that game.
I'm not so much talking about knowing people, because I think that's unavoidable. I'm talking about a person who played in the same tournament, reffing the final game when they have lost and fallen out of the tournament. I think that's
right, and I understand that point, you know, but you know, you can make the argument. Last week he played in a tournament, and you know, whoever was reffing third base may have had something happen last week or last month, you know. So I mean, it's a tough spot.
It is. Again, like, I don't put this on you. I think this is more of a WAKA situation where they make it a self-ref situation, but. Just to kind of go through, what do you guys think is a way to either work around this? Should we just deal with it, and just because things got more competitive this year because they weren't so competitive last year?
It's overall, it's a measure of integrity. That's what you have to test and look at. You know, it's anybody. Yes, there is going to be an issue where the person played in the game and lost. How do you really measure their integrity to ref the game? But that measurement is all done by the general public or the WAKA representation that's there and that's doing it. The same option would be because I'm a soccer fan, there's one referee that we hate for Man U. There's a guy who refs Man U games for any time, and he's always for Man U. He has no connection to Man U. He doesn't know anything about Man U, but he always refs for Man U and always calls their calls. So what do you call honest integrity? But he's refed World Cup games. He's refed Championship League games. So it's just a measure of integrity. That's the biggest thing you have to look at and check from there. It is what it is a lot of times, and I think everyone here has played a sport. Everyone's played a sport with a referee. Everyone's played a sport with a referee where a referee has made a call and you wanted to kill that referee. To me personally, it's the playing of the game. It sucks, takes away from it, but that's the playing of the game. You decided it, the decision is it, and you move on from it. again, like I said, we wouldn't be talking about this if the game went down to OT and it was 1-1.
Yep.
That's the other way we look at it as well.
Sorry, Farmer. Nate, you wanted to add something there?
Yeah, I'm not really talking about our game against Shockwave in specific, but just the general WAKA rule, especially in tournaments. I think it's a matter of accountability. If I'm showing up to a tournament and I have to ref just because I'm a player, I'm going to do my best job, but I don't care as much because I'm more focused on my team and playing than I am anything else. And if I show up at say a circuit game and I know I'm going to be a ref, that's what I'm focused on, and I'm going to be accountable for it. So if I mess up, they might not ask me back. If I make a mistake or I consistently bad, I'm probably not going to have that job anymore. If I do that at a WAKA game, there's nothing to be held accountable for. It's not like I care that. I mean, I'm sorry if I made a mistake, but that's not why I'm there that day. And I don't think that's had anything to do with our game against Shockwave because those were all paid WAKA refs. But I'm just saying for earlier on in the tournament, that's really all I have to say on that.
Yeah.
Samir, was there anything you wanted to add?
I got a question. Could there have been a way that you can ask for another ref before that championship game, or no?
Chad?
Yeah, I mean, if someone had come up to me and said, look, we'd rather not have him ref this game, I absolutely would have either done it myself or I would have found someone else that I felt was qualified and could ref.
Okay. I mean, I'm not saying that he didn't. I felt like he did a good job ref. I mean, I know he ref one of our he was a head ref at one of our games, and I felt like he controlled it well. He did a great job, and I think he was a first base ref at another one of our games, and then he was a third base ref in the championship game. We don't know him or anything like that. I felt like he was a good ref for what he was. I know he had that one tough call, which went our way finally. But yeah, I mean we get calls that are bad sometimes, but I remember being told by our coach before, we just have to play through it. Not a lot of things are going to go our way, and with the refs, we always go into it with that mindset anyway. So I kind of feel you guys' pain. But I really do hate that it had to come to that. But I feel like it should be different refs. I don't like that the players are the referees, but hey, we just play.
I think Samir and Nate both have really valuable points. I mean, I was a former WAKA staffer. I know Kyle is probably like the rules expert and he knows this stuff, but it's not so much about that one call. It's about the whole gist of the day. Should there start to be outside people? Blah, blah, blah. I think we could probably talk about this all night. Probably not going to do anything. But
yeah, it is what it is. It's in the past.
Right. And it still was a great game. It was a great game to watch. I'm sure it was a great game to play in. I think that you guys will definitely be seeing each other in Vegas and in other 365 tournaments. And that's awesome. That's what makes it great. You're gonna
TCKO.
It begins up the rivalry. That's what I'm saying.
You mean Boston Kwame and Connecticut Kwame?
Boston Kwame and DC Kwame.
And DC Kwame, apparently.
All the days together.
All right. So,
I have one more thing I just want to add. There was a social side to this. We're basically playing fun, wacky rules, and this social side, they raised $3,000 for children's cancer. For the Kick It organization, that is no easy feat. That's great. That's a huge donation. Children's cancer is one of the least funded cancers, actually. You did not know that. But I think we should just do kind of a last words. If anybody has any their favorite moment of the day with their team, their favorite moment in general, final thoughts.
So Chad, let's start with you. Final thoughts.
Yeah, I think overall the tournament had much more quality teams and more competitive teams than we've had in the past. Not just with the addition of Shockwave and Pounders, but even the teams that came back got stronger from years past. And I'm hoping that we can continue to build that for next year and the years to come. And then one other thing I want to mention, we will be having photos that were taken by an awesome photographer. Her name was Bridget Huss, and she'll be posting those photos. She just emailed me a little while ago. She'll be posting those photos, a preview on our Facebook page, and then I'll be creating an album with tons of photos. So be on the lookout for that, and thank you, Bridget, for those great photos.
Interjection. Michael Mancini, who is not on Facebook, is very upset that you can only see these photos on Facebook, by the way. You might have to send him a personal album.
Last time I checked, you were social chair.
You what?
I thought you don't you run the Instagram, V?
Me? Oh, I run things, but...
So couldn't you put the pictures up on there?
Salty.
That's for WAKA New Haven, though.
All right.
Oh, no. Technicality.
Kwame, what are your final thoughts from the tournament?
Final thoughts of the tournament is it was an awesome tournament to fly back from. Yep,
Yeah. By the way, you don't know, Kwame made a surprise visit. He didn't tell anyone on his team, other than the captain, that he was flying back from California to play in this tournament until like the day of when he just showed up and surprised everyone. So.
And he didn't even tell me, but he told her. So.
And then he tore his Achilles. So.
She found out like
Karma. That's why you
before.
tell me every time.
Oh, you guys
Wow.
say karma? Wow.
That's vicious. Do not mess with her.
Mm-mm. Overall, like I said, it was great.
My spare bedroom is no longer open for occupancy, Kwame.
Damn.
That's kidding.
Damn.
You see this hurt? All right, can I finish my final thoughts? Can I finish my final thoughts, please?
Stupid.
No. Nate, go ahead.
I think Kwame wanted to say something else first.
Kwame, go ahead, sorry.
Overall, I want to give a shout out to Extra Talent because I think they deserve the credit for people coming together and having Russ, Cappy, and them and getting out of the pool play. I give them credit for their. Again, hey, Shockwave do work, when they come up and play. That's why their name is known. And biggest thing I want to say definitely is pitch intense. Like, I am shocked in terms of a team that the Northeast has developed to where you guys were before, to being contenders in the Founders Cup last year, to being in the finals this year. It's definitely a team to be looking out for and stuff like that. And they can finally say the Northeast tournament is a tournament that other kickball leagues should be looking out for.
Nate, did you want to piggyback on that?
Yeah, first, thank you, Kwame. First of all, I just want to say congrats to Shockwave for winning the tournament. Heck of a game, and I hope we can do it soon. Second, I just want to say about our team, it's been a process. I think it's probably taken us a good 5 years to get where we are now. I think this is the strongest team I've been on. I'm really looking forward to building on that. I feel like we've built a really strong reputation, and I really just don't want that entire tournament and how we played just come down to one play, because it was so much more than that. And looking forward to what our future brings, and hopefully Shockwave doesn't see us and take us out in any more tournaments. But thank you and congrats to Shockwave.
Samir, anything you want to add?
I just want to give a big shout out to Chad. I felt like he was great all day. I remember him coming up to us and telling us that the food truck, something happened with the food truck, or they caught a flat or something. I'm not sure, but I know he let us know that there were going to be some pieces coming, and he brought us over some boxes. So I felt like he was all over the place. Every time I looked up, there was Chad with the glass, with the pizza. He was doing a lot.
Sorry, Samir. I was gonna say thank you to Chad, but I figured it'd be easier to do it on AIM later. So.
I'll be in a chat room later.
Sorry, Samir.
Yeah. No, and I wanted to also congratulate Pitch Intense, even though they didn't win. I felt like they played, a hell of a tournament. We were watching you guys. We've been watching you guys last year at Founders Cup. We were rooting for you guys. You guys played a hell of a tournament at Founders Cup, and we were rooting you guys on.
Thank you. Appreciate it,
you
man.
can let us know as well. But we hope to see you guys in DCKO so we can squash this.
I don't know. I didn't hear what he said at the end. It kind of, I don't know. It was fuzzy at the end.
I said we see DCKO.
He's pulling a Chad.
Yeah, he's pulling a Chad right now. I'm gonna say he says like Pitch Intense is an awesome team, and we look forward to seeing him.
Sarah, was there anything that you want to add? Do you want me to go while you?
Who's Sarah?
Me. Is there anything you want to add?
So I think it was a great tournament. I mean, I've been part of playing / whatever for the past 4 years that this has been going on, 5 years. I think that this was the most competitive year, and I think that this is what's going to put the Northeast on the map, like Kwame was saying. And I'm happy that someone, a.k.a. Boston, got their shit together and finally made a Northeast team, because it was getting ridiculous. And they picked up some key people in Connecticut, and they're just pulling the best from the tri-state area. But congratulations to Shockwave. You guys played awesome. You're always, I felt a little fangirlish when I was talking to somebody, you know.
We gotta start getting kickball autographs books.
Well, I mean, also, apparently somebody came up to LVee and told her how funny I was.
That would be Jillian Sims. Hi, Jill, if you're watching.
So I think it put us on the map, too. So, ta-ching.
Must have been a mistake.
I just did that.
And just to kind of tie it all up, yeah, first and foremost, I want to say congrats to Shockwave. You guys are a hell of a team, and looking forward to playing with you guys in the future. I want to thank Nate and Claudio and Dad, a.k.a. Drew, or I guess it's Drew, a.k.a. Dad, for asking me and allowing me to play with you guys. You know, I love this team, man. You guys are positive. You guys are a great team. I love what you stand for, and I really appreciate that you guys invite me to play with you every year. I want to thank Chad for organizing a great tournament. Sorry, Kwame. I want to thank Chad for organizing a great tournament. I thought the day ran a lot more smoothly than previous tournaments that I've played in. So, you know, and along with Chad, it wasn't just Chad. It was Shelly. It was Pepin, who helped out with writing the checks and getting the grids and the playoffs all together, and Envy. So everyone that was involved with organizing the tournament, thank you very much. And also, I want to thank these teams that did come out of state to come and play. I appreciate you guys helping put Connecticut kickball a little more on the map, or at least maybe the Northeast. And yeah, I think it's a great tournament. Looking forward to the next year. Who just said and wanted to add? Samir, yes, go ahead.
Also, I wanted to add one more thing. We are coming back next year. This is from our coach, Mike.
All right.
Nice. You guys
heard that makes my day. I love it.
I want to shout out all my teammates.
Breaking news. Coming back to Connecticut 2017.
Yeah, we're going to make the drive again. But I want to shout out all my teammates and shout out JKI. I know a few of them are watching too.
Hey, Samir and Shockwave, if you're coming back this time, you got to go to our party on Saturday night.
Ooh, yeah.
We didn't have a chance to talk about
the only reason we had to get back. Only reason we had to get back, we had a game. We had local league games on Sunday.
Yeah, that's
So did I skipped it.
You got a wedding. All right, we just want to leave on one quick little note here, Sarah.
On a high note.
Obviously, no one can hear it.
Say it here. I think we be friends. Why can't we be friends?
LVee show on Snapchat. It's hilarious.
Why can't we be friends?
Hey Nate, man, I'm sorry you gotta deal with this, man.
I don't, man. I'm in Rhode Island. I'm not in Connecticut. I don't have to do that.
Why do you think I move all the way to West Coast? Get out of there as quick as possible.